Everybody want to hear about the military, and my military experience. And I've shared a sprinkle here, a sprinkle there. But today, we're going to get into it, and I'm not going to leave anything out. But you should know in advance, this will be more than just one video. I spent 6 years in the military. My last year in the military was unpaid. And I'll tell you why.
A soul that creative, living a life of art, spreading love in alignment with the stars, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, we're all stars, finding our way, documenting my journey each and every day, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess.
Imagine trying to rejoin the place that broke you down, but also built you up. A place where you lost yourself and you also found yourself. But when you found yourself in the pieces that you were left in, the Navy didn't fit in that piece. There was no piece, there was no room for the Navy. And I kept trying to make room for the Navy. And my body rejected it time after time, situation after situation. From the moment I stepped foot in, even when I got out, it was some residue and a lot of different things that I had to leave behind. And I even went through my spiritual awakening in the Navy, y'all. Like, can you imagine being active duty, going through a spiritual awakening? Like, so what you guys are seeing is the alchemy. You guys are seeing the remembering, the embodiment of who I truly am. And all that I have endured and all that I have overcome to get to this point. It took some work, it took some time, baby. It took some time for me to remember and deprogram and decode everything that I have been taught. It took some time to break some generational curses and realize that I had the power, to realize that God was within me. It took some things to remind me because I was born knowing. You are spirit first. That light you have as a child that you see in these children that we still have in us, but we keep forgetting. We thinking it went somewhere. It's inside. It's in you, not on you. And even as I was doing this look, even as I was putting together this look, like I said, this was just flowing. None of this was planned. I literally was sitting outside on the balcony, and something was just like, oh, I got an idea. I was just like, oh, I got an idea. So let me get ready first so I don't get too comfortable. And something just shifted in me and was just like, do it. So I did it and I recorded the process. There'll be another video up, or it should already be up, of me doing that process. And some shorts of, after I officially got done with the look. But anywho, it took a lot for me to get here. And that's why I tell people, like, you never really want to trade places with people. It's so many people that done told me to my face that they wish they were me, that they wish they could have the luxuries that I have. And I tell them that there's nothing that I've done that you can't do. There's nothing that I'm capable of that you aren't capable of. We all have our own power. We are all authentically ourselves. And it's so important that we know that. And it's so important that the ones that do know, those of us that do know, we shine our light. Like, this is not the time to be running. This is not the time to be afraid. This is not the time to be scared. If anything, this is the time to alchemize that fear if you are scared and put it into action. Turn it into passion, turn it into art, turn it into whatever it is that your craft is. Do it with all of you. It is time to be you and stop running. It's no more running. There's no more time to run, and it's really about to show. So I'm feeling ready to at least share my first year in the military. But I'm actually going to tell y'all what happened when I got out first. So when I got out the military in 2022, right? I got out in 2022. I didn't get my DD 214 until 2023, which is a piece of paper that is so important. You can't get any benefits or anything without your DD 214, especially if you are trying to file for disability. Okay, so I went a whole year. I got out August 2022. I got my DD 214 May 30th, 2023. And I remember this vividly because I was doing my friend hair. Oh my goodness, love you dearly, girl. I was at my friend's house doing her hair, and I literally, some just said check your phone or call them. I called them and they said, "Oh, it has should been emailed over, y'all." They had literally just emailed it over to me 5 minutes prior to me calling them, and I felt it. Like I just felt it. So anyway, I got that, and then I realized, okay, now it's time for me to do what I said I was going to do, which was move. Now I already had said I was going to leave Cali. I wanted to originally move out of the country, but then I started looking for places in Cali, and life got even, girl, y'all, life started tearing my ass up even more because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there anymore. However, I kept fighting it because it's what I knew. So things started falling through like left and right between my job. I got hurt at my job. I am also a RBT. If you don't know what that is, look it up or I'll put it on the screen. But I've done so many different things since I got out in such little time. I'm a CMA as well, certified medical assistant. Like I was doing everything I could. Well, I went to CMA school here in Atlanta, but anywho, I was doing everything I could to stay in Cali. Even applied to a place and was ready to spend money, extra money, when I knew it wasn't for me and everything was falling through. Boom, right? So after I started school, I was like, you know what? Let me just go to school. Let me stack my money up and just take care of my mental health, and really just start back creating. And so I started doing that. I got back into my TikTok bag, and I started back. I was going live every day, but it was still a lot going on mentally and spiritually. Like where I was living was no place for me. The people I was around were not people for me. They were part of a version of me that I was trying to hold on to. And I had to let that go, and I had to let them go. Even when I moved, I was still trying to hold on to them, and I had to end up letting them go. And it, just to let you know, it hurts more to hold on than it does to let go, y'all. It really, really does hurt more to hold on than it does to let go, especially when it's not you thinking it, it's that things have shifted and you have elevated on a different playing field, okay? So, anyways, I went to school, I started going to school, and I started saving, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna give myself till I told myself I was gonna move in November, right? Already in that year I had uh pretty much was damn near homeless, y'all. And then I ended up renting a room, which was my last place that I stayed. I rented a room there, so I can save up and they can save up pretty much. Shit. When you rent a room, everybody benefits from that shit. Just want y'all to know. Don't ever let nobody make you feel bad for renting a room and doing what you gotta do, because you gotta do what you need to do to get into another place. And that helps somebody else save as well. So you're doing them a favor. So while I'm in boot camp, y'all, when I get off the bus, I walk in and they have us line up, and I'm not gonna go too much in detail on how the process is, cause Anywho, if you know, you know. We lined up and we calling our parents. So we get to call somebody. I call my mom, and I'm trying to focus on holding my pee because I'm so fucking, like, my body has went into shock. I'm trying to focus on holding my pee. I done drunk all this water to hydrate on this fucking bus, and because I know we had to do urinalysis, but I didn't know all this extra shit was before we was gonna do urinalysis and all that. So I am trying to focus. I'm holding my pee, standing at attention with my phone, calling my mama, and I just started peeing. I'm just like, Mom, I'm peeing on myself right now, but I've made it. I'm okay. And then the RDC, he's yelling at me. He kind of let off a little smirk, but he's yelling at me, telling me to go use the bathroom, right? So being that I used the bathroom, I had to hydrate more and walk around until I could use the bathroom again, until it was actually urinalysis. Y'all, I'm telling you, my first day, my first night, because you don't go to sleep. You don't go to sleep your first couple. I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna just, yeah. Anyway, my first week was so life changing, to the point where I felt like if I took a moment to feel anything, I would have broke right then and there. And I knew that it was bigger than me. All I kept telling myself was, this is so much bigger than me. I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this for my people. I got to set an example. I got to be able to go back home and help my city and all this stuff, like real patriotic type shit, but not in a way for like fighting for the country, but wait for my people. Like all I'm thinking about is my people. I cannot lie. That if nothing else, that's really what kept me going, is like knowing that it's bigger than me. Like I cannot give up. And so after my first 2-3 weeks in the Navy, like in boot camp, I started to, feel better. And I'm just like, okay, like this shit really not hard. It's just mental. It's all mental. It's all spiritual. And that's where the spiritual warfare began. um because it was tugging on my spirit. A lot of things that they had us doing went against my core, my morals and my values. And it just, it was a lot of triggers and things. I didn't even know what triggers was for real back then, but I was triggered like a motherfucker, but I was eating it. I was taking so much shit at the chin because it was just like bigger than me. I was not finna just fold. And I felt my cousin had just passed away um the month before I left for boot camp. So it was, I felt him very heavily. Like I felt him protecting me and guiding me through boot camp. It was real deep and spiritual to the point where I would be marching and I can feel him grabbing my hand. Like I was very divinely guided, man. But in my first um my first division, because that's what our groups are called that we stay with in our compartment. My first division, I was the main yeoman in MA. Two things, right? They had all these different jobs. I did not volunteer. They asked was somebody good at math and organizing all this stuff, and my Virgo moon was ready to shine, bitch. I'm good at it, not knowing that I'm finna be volunteered for this shit, and that should have been my first warning, because when I got on that ship, they definitely worked my ass to the bone. When they find out you a hard worker and you working for something and you got this will and this power, they are going to work your ass. They don't give a fuck about nothing. Yo leave chits, your stuff to go home, your approval, putting in your days to go home may take a little longer because they want you to work a little longer. Like, anywho, yeah. So I'm doing that, and I remember I told the lady after like 2 weeks or something like that. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do this job. And she was like, you think you get a choice? You think you get a choice? Like she started grilling my ass, y'all. And this time it felt a little personal though. Like usually when they yelling at you, sometimes you can tell when it's personal and they trying to take shit out on you because they have some pressure build up, and you could tell when they are literally just doing their job and they're in their mode. And at this point in moment, she was attacking me in a sense. She was really attacking me verbally, and I'm listening to her and I'm looking her in her eyes, and this lady didn't look like she had a soul. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I just started praying in my head. I just started praying in my head. And so when we was able to get our first phone call, we had got in trouble. So we wasn't able to talk that long. And then on my first phone call, y'all, nobody was fucking answering the phone. I am freaking out. I am in shambles. I'm so sad. I done went and tried different phones thinking it's the phone's fucking up. And then I finally get on the phone with my mom. I call my auntie and they do the three-way, and I'm balling. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I've been trying to call y'all, nobody answering the phone, and da da da. And I just started breaking down, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting teary-eyed because even then, at that point, God was trying to show me, like, you are not alone already. Stop thinking that it's outside of you. Stop thinking that it's outside of you. Like, even if they don't answer, they rooting for you. They cheering for you. Even if they not, I am. You know what I mean? Like, you doing it for them, so why would they not be in support? Why would they not want to answer? I really had to bring myself back and say, okay, girl, woosah. But when I did get on the phone with somebody, we was on the phone for about 2 minutes. I'm finna move out this sun. Okay, yeah. So we was on the phone for about 2 minutes, and then we had to get off. So I was really blowed, like for real, for real. Hold on, cause I don't know how it sound when the wind blows. Okay, so Yeah. So my mom knew. My mom, one thing about my mama, she gon' pray. She is going to pray. I have a praying mama. My mama is a praying woman. Okay? My mama is a spiritually gifted woman. She I felt my mama praying for me, y'all. Because it's like I was talking to her in my dreams sometimes because I was praying. And I really like the little girl in me wanted my mom. The little girl in me wanted my dad. And that's another story for another day. But I just wanted the same connections. Like, I don't know. I just wanted something more than what I was getting. And at that time, I didn't know it was because I wasn't supposed to be there. Well, I was supposed to be there, but y'all know what I mean.